IDV gamers. Today we are doing a Q&A. Yesterday on my community post, I asked for some questions and you guys gave me quite a lot. I think like around 200 or something. Yeah, we're at 250 questions right now, which is pretty crazy. And I'm not gonna be able to answer all of them. There's a lot of duplicate questions, but unfortunately, I'm sorry, I will not be able to answer every question, but I'll try to get as many done as I can in this video. But first, I wanna do my essence pulls here real quick, get them out of the way, see if we can get anything kind of cool. Why is her face so smug? Don't look at me like that, Vera Perfumer. All right, we got this one here as well. No gold, that's fine. Can we get a B tier? Can we get something that's worth 200? Wine. Before we get into the questions, though, we have a couple things to check out. First, we have the Fire Investigator Essence trailer, and then we have the Arnold Buppets episode 4. Can't wait to see what this one's all about. All right, let's do these, then we can get into the questions.
An ancient demonic grimoire shall soon be revealed to the
Grimoire. That's such a fun word to say.
It will guide humanity to the pinnacle of power. The fanatical shall vie for ownership of it.
Okay,
and
okay.
we will put a sublime end to these ambitions.
Oh, we got Chowboy, we got Chowboy. Okay, Bonnet. Wait, another Bonovan B tier? What?
Through flawless cooperation.
Okay, I think I saw Thief Acro as well.
Conflagration before the eyes of the masses can we neutralize.
Dude, I like this theme. Oh, there's the clerk. Yup.
You're kind of the ones we need to neutralize.
Okay. Yo, shoot her! Yo, they're just shooting stuff. Oh my gosh.
You are also a madman chasing his desires.
Oh, he got it though. He got it.
Here, today, the truth, once blinded by desire, will be revealed.
Oh.
It appears that this experiment is far from over.
I don't know what this means, but it was cool. That was really cool. Actually, I loved like the light and darkness. That was hype.
The name is Arnold Kreberg.
Episode 4, here we go.
Another wondrous puppet show.
Yeah. What's it filled with? Oh? No way. What? Really? No way. Never would have expected that.
What say you? Ever had something so precious, so dear, so rare that the mere thought of it being nicked can only end in a smash or a fire?
I love it when he laughs. Yeah, I have something precious to me too. It's called my video game consoles. Leo's Precious. Bro, Lord of the Rings? Hit him with the, my precious. I can't do a Gollum voice for the life of me. Was that Feaster? Was that a Peeper? What the heck was that? Oh, it's a little Gardener. Little Gardener doll. Uh-oh. Is that Creature Pearson? Uh-oh, it's Thief. It's Thief. Ooh, a plushie. Let me just poke this guy while he's sleeping. I'll just steal the plush. I'll steal your freaking thread. Yup. I'll steal your BQ mirror. Your laundry machine, I think. Your entire bed. Oh, how? Not the plushie. What? All right, Thief. Just literally just robbed everything. Oh, and now Joker. Okay. Yeah, what's she gonna steal? All his freaking dancer posters? Wow, Dancer is the coolest. Wow, so cool. And yep, there we go. How do you fit everything into that bag, bro? Don't rob Bane, bro. You're not gonna... Okay, I was gonna say, if you rob Bane, he's gonna kill you, bro. Leo? I mean, Emma, where's my daughter plushie? Uh-oh, he left tracks. Uh-oh, Leo angry. What the? Oh my gosh, Sonic the Hedgehog. This guy blames Joker. To be fair, I would too. What the? Oh, there he is. My plushie. Give it back, thief. Is Joker just flying around, bro? Oh my gosh. Yo, kiting? He's actually kiting. Bro, calm down. Oh, dude, Duco's going through it today. Uh-oh, no, the harassment tools. Bro, this is literally how it feels to play IDV. Oh, Bane. Don't steal his, like, one thing. He has, like, one... Geisha? No! The little gardener's gonna die! Yo, she's just trying to be nice. Uh-oh, she's evil now. Oh, this happened in episode 1 too. She's just trying to be nice and yup. Oh my gosh. Dang. No, the gardener plushie. Oh no. No. Oh, it's so sad. Oh no, Leo. Bro, don't look. Don't look. Oh, can she fix it? Can she fix it? Hey, give me plushie. Fix it. Can you fix it? Yes, my plushie of my daughter. Yes, look at its face. Wait. Is it okay though? Is it okay? Oh, I see. Oh, got to be one of the craziest puppets I've ever
Leo
seen.
finally got back his precious doll.
Uh-huh.
That's all the performance for tonight.
Oh my
See
gosh.
you next round.
Got to be one of the craziest Arnold and Puppets episodes I've ever seen. Wow. That will go down in history. I wish I was Arnold and Puppets. I love this show so much, bro. It's so stupid. All right, now it is time to get into the Q&A. Here we go. First question we have by Zedragonsaur. They ask, if you hit a certain amount of subs, will you attempt to make Melly's honey cake for a video? Yeah, that's one of Melly's favorite foods. I think there's only 3 foods she likes. It's the honey cake, the mulberries, and there's like one other food. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's funny that you say that because I did want to make something for Melly's birthday. I don't think it was exactly the honey cake, but it was some sort of like entomologist themed cake. I just didn't have enough time for it. That was a really busy time for me. It's like really close to Christmas as well, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that in the future. But maybe I could do it sometime if there's like some dead weeks in IDV where there's not too many updates. So I'd say maybe in the future. I'll consider that. Next question we have is from Zeus IDV, my buddy here. He asks, when do you want to come to NYC? That's funny. Yeah, so Zeus lives in NYC, so it'd be fun to visit him sometime. I'm pretty busy at the moment, and there might be a move happening in like a few months, so yeah, it might be pretty difficult, but I'd say like maybe like in the latter half of this year, if I have like a freer schedule, I'd say maybe. I'd be down though. I'd be down to come visit you sometime, bro. It'd be fun. Next question from Round Robin. They ask, favorite moments on the Isambard public map. Do you have any cool ideas you'd love to see in public maps going forward? / what direction would you want them to go in with regards to public map design? Yeah, so I actually really like this latest public map. It might actually be my favorite. I just love how different it is, right? Because most of the public maps, they kind of just use other maps as like a base. The very first one I got to see was the Lakeside Village one. It was like the summer one. That's the one that happened when I first joined. And then there was the Chinese New Year one, the winter one. This one is really, really good. I think my 2 favorites are probably the winter one and this one right now. There's just so many, there's always like one big event, right, that happens in these public maps. For the Lakeside Village one, I think all we really had was catching fireflies and gliding. I don't think there's much beyond that. In the Christmas one, we could skate around and throw snowballs, roll giant snowballs. That was really fun. The skating was super fun. The Chinese New Year one had the dragon dancing one, which was really cute, and it also had the dragon costumes. Very, very awesome. And then this one is really fun because it has the dancing, like the dancing with other people. I think that's really, really cool. I want to do more like interactive, I guess, things on public maps, and also ones that aren't just solely based off of other maps, right? Like the Chinese New Year one based off Chinatown. The Lakeside Village one was Liddy's Lakeside Village. It was like a corner of Lakeside Village. Leo's Memory one, or the Christmas one is based off Leo's Memory. But this Isambard one kind of had like a Lakeside Village sort of base, but it was like really, really different, right? And you're on a boat, like that's so cool. Oh yeah, I forgot there's also the Kongho one. The Kongho one was also really good. You had like the little boat that would take you out. I almost forgot about that one. That one was so good as well. I just want to do like more interactive things and more maps that are just like really, really different. I think that Kongho one was based on like Ever Sleeping Town, but I want them to just make like completely, new and unique maps with lots of interactable things that kind of just feel like a really special event, right? Like that the dancing is super fun. I think that's really, really cool. And I hope they do more stuff like that, honestly. I really hope they bring back the dances sometimes. All I really know is I just want them to keep making more unique and fun public maps because I have a blast on them. They are so much fun. Next up, we have some questions here from Jojo. First question is, they ask, do you think that at some point you are going to be bored of the game? That's a good question because I know a lot of people do experience burnout with Identity 5. There's a lot that comes like in different bursts and waves, and there are probably some down weeks in Identity 5 that are just, more calm than others. And at the moment, no, I'm still having a really good time with the game. There are some weeks that like I struggle to constantly come up with creative ideas when it's like really slow. So far, I've actually uploaded every single day in the year of 2024 on this channel. I want to keep that going for as long as possible, but I do think that there's going to reach a point where I can't always do like a video every single day. Realistically, it's going to be like maybe 4 or 5 times a week in the future. But right now, I want to keep that streak going for as long as possible. But yeah, until then, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. But there could be a point, right? There could be a point where I get bored. But all I can say is right now, I'm still having a lot of fun. Their second question was, besides Melly and Frederick, which other survivor is your favorite? I've been playing a lot of different survivors recently on their like free days and whatnot, just to kind of try them out. But for my favorites, I really like playing Novelist. I've been playing Novelist a lot more recently. He's just so fun. Then unless I go up against an Ivy, then I'm crying. But you know, otherwise he's a really fun character. Antiquarian is super fun as well. Coordinator. I'm kind of hit or miss with Journalist. I really like Journalist, but like, I just can't seem to get good with her. I don't know. I just always just my little doofy body blocks. I can just never seem to time them correctly. She's just so strict, and I just don't feel like she's very strong, honestly. And a couple other characters, it's Patient Acro, obviously really fun. But I've actually been picking up Gardner a little more recently, just because I've seen like how fun she can be in round 1 against Opera Singer. And Gardner's actually so fun, dude. She is so fun. Whenever you pull off like a nice timed bubble, dude, you feel like such a pro. You really do, and it gives you like a free transition. Yeah, Gardner's really fun. There's just so many fun characters in the game. I really don't know how to pick like a favorite besides like, you know, Melly, Frederick already. It's tough, but I'd probably say for my top 3 favorite characters I like playing right now, it's probably Ento, Composer, and Novelist. For their third question, they ask, which hunter do you think deserves more attention? Now that's kind of a bit of a vacuum question because I don't know if they mean like meta-wise or just like more hunter that just needs more like artwork or needs to be out there more. Honestly, I'd probably just say like the super unpopular ones that people don't really play too often. So something like Mad Eyes would be awesome. Something like Antonio would be awesome. Because you know, how many times are you running into like Anne, Mary, Geisha, Naiad? Like the same like 4 hunters all the time, like over and over and over. It can get kind of boring, you know? And like how many times do you run up against the Mad Eyes? Once a month maybe? Like you barely see that character. I just want to see more of like those niche characters, not just like more in the game, but more in like, you know, community-based stuff like artworks and whatnot. And question number 4, they asked, any tips to start a YouTube channel? I want to try to make Identity 5 content, but I don't know how to start. Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like maybe in the future on my 3rd channel, I might put up like a basic YouTube guide. But I would say there's like 3 things that you need to start off with. 1, make sure if you're doing voiceovers that you have to have good audio. No one is going to want to watch you if you have poor like mumbly audio. As long as your audio is like clear and concise, I do believe that people will maintain watching you. 2nd, make sure you have just some very basic editing software. All you really need is something that you can make cuts with. That's it. You don't need to make any fancy edits. Maybe just something that you can make cuts with. Maybe add in some music if you want. That's all you really need to start off with, honestly. There's plenty of free programs out there that you can give a try. But the biggest thing is also think about titles and thumbnails. It's really funny. I've been looking at some newer channels on Identity 5, and I've seen some thumbnails that are very clearly inspired by mine. And I just want to say that that's so awesome. That's so awesome when people look at like my thumbnails or my content and take inspiration from that. I think that's really cool. So if there's anybody out there that like looks at my content and like gets ideas from it or wants to, you know, sort of branch off from the things that I've done, that's really awesome. And I feel quite honored by people who, you know, make stuff that, you know, that they've seen from me as well. I think that's just really cool. But yeah, I just say make sure you have good audio, get a basic editing software, think about titles and thumbnails to make an interesting one. That's not necessarily clickbait, but just think about like interesting sounding titles. And for thumbnails, I'd recommend using this software called GIMP. It's a free, it's like a free Photoshop, basically. I don't really use it, but it has a lot of the tools that Photoshop does, so you can look into that. And I'd start looking at other channels' thumbnails and kind of studying them to see what exactly like goes into making a thumbnail. Maybe not necessarily mine, but honestly, I think the channel, if you haven't heard of him, Duco, he has really great thumbnails. I'd suggest studying his thumbnails, looking at his, and seeing exactly like what goes into them, because they really do match the theme of the game more than like I think any creator that makes videos on Identity 5. So yeah, I'd suggest looking at his. Obviously there's a lot more that goes into doing content, but I think that's like a good base starting point. Next up, we have some questions from Lucero here. I'm not sure if that's how to pronounce the name, but I'll just say that. They say, congrats on 17K. Thank you so much for that. Their first question is, what was your highest rank / badge for Melly? And if you remember, how many points did you have to get there? So I've only been a B badge entomologist. When I play rank, I actually don't only play Melly. I play a lot of different characters, usually like for content. But I don't really have too much time to just rank on my own. And even then, half the time I'm put on like rescue duty because nobody will play a rescuer. So I feel like I can't even play Melly as much as I really want to. But I have been practicing new tech for Melly, the crouch canceling, and it's kind of tough to get it right, but I'm trying to get down the muscle memory for it. But yeah, I was a B badge, and I think I was around like maybe 3,000 points for Melly. I know a lot of people do play Melly, so the points go up pretty high for her. She's a pretty popular character, which is cool to see for me. I love Entomologist. Their second question is, I remember one time you said you were going to try some IDV fan games. I don't know if it's still in your projects, but apart from that, have you ever played any by yourself, are interested in playing one, or have heard of some? And yeah, that's a great question. There are some IDV fan games out there that I really want to play. Specifically, the one I want to play the most is Murder on the Nord Express. I heard that one was really, really good. Plus, it has Sophia Melly in it, so, you know, goated. But yeah, I want to give that one a try. I wanted to start filming it like a couple weeks ago, but I got really busy with Koa. So a lot of the projects that I currently have on hold are going to be done, or I'm going to start working on it when Koa finishes. It's just until Koa is done, I can't really work on them as much as I would like to. Their third question is, apart from Melly's skins, what are your favorite skins in the game? Well, I think obviously my favorite skins are like just the ones that I have for my favorite characters. You know, stuff like for Composer's new skin. Antiquarian has like really awesome skins. The Chinese New Year one is awesome. The Koa one is awesome. Gotta love Bluebell Blue as well. I really do like that new smiley face skin for Arnold Puppets. That one cracks me up every time I see it. The Wildling skin that was from last season, Essence 3 or whatever. That was a really good. That was a really good costume. The blue one. That one's so beautiful. I really like that costume. There's so many good ones out there. I really don't know how to pick, honestly, but those are a few that come to mind off the top of my head. Their fourth question is, if I recall correctly, right now you're a Griffin 5, but have you ever got higher? Yeah, so right now I've been doing a lot of ranking with Hikaru. Sometimes we usually do it like for content and whatnot. There are still quite a few videos out on that I haven't really uploaded because I haven't really got the opportunity to edit them. And I don't even know if I'll be able to put all of them into a video because there were some that were just like not super great where we just kind of flopped and it wasn't really as entertaining. But it was fun and I really want to play more with them. So yeah, I could see myself going higher. My highest rank has been Griffin 3. I've never gone beyond Griffin 3. But I feel like maybe in this season I might make Alicorn 5. But yeah, I'm definitely not an Alicorn 5 player. Like my skill level is definitely below Griffin. I'm definitely probably like a Mammoth level player. Honestly, I say Griffin because I'm in it, but that's also because I played like a lot to get there and I can just get back into Griffin without too much trouble. I don't know. But my skills are not necessarily that good. I still have a lot to learn. Their fifth question is, do you have any crossover you'll love to see in Identity 5? I think I actually answered this in the last Q&A, and I said Fire Emblem that time, because I really do like Fire Emblem. It's my favorite video game franchise. But if I had to pick a different answer, I feel like I might just go with Zelda or something, I don't know. But no, besides that, I think if there's a game series that I would like to see that kind of fits the Identity 5 vibe, I would say Zero Escape / I, the Somnium Files. Those would make for some really good skins, honestly. I could really see it. Like Mizuki Antiquarian would be cool. We could have Date as like novelist or something. There's a lot of cool characters. Obviously there's Junpei and June. We could have some really cool characters with from Zero Escape, that is. But I don't know. There's a lot of cool characters. Honestly, like pretty much any video game I've played, I'd want to see a crossover with Identity 5. So yeah, I guess I'll just throw those out there for now. And for their final question, number 6, they say a dream skin you don't own. Yeah. So I would have. This is probably just Sophia Melly. Right, this is probably Sophia Melly, because I used to have it. I used to have Sophia Melly because I got that account totally not gifted to me. Not easy if you're watching this. Totally not gifted. I would never get account gifted. I don't believe in account trading. But when I had that account that magically just appeared in my hands from the very generous Sandra, I got that account that had like 400 skins, right? It had like Sophia Melly, lots of the Koa skins, lots of Essence skins. And I was super happy with that account because I was going to be able to use it so much for content. And it got hacked. it got hacked like within a week, and we tried to recover it. I was reaching out to Sandra. We tried to recover it, and unfortunately we could not. So that's really unfortunate. I've even got hate comments about people being like, "Why are you so ungrateful? Why are you not using this account?" And I'm like, "Bruh, it got hacked. There's nothing I can do." So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. And what's really funny is on my 10-hour live stream, the person who hacked my account actually played with me using the hacked account that they stole. So yeah, that's cool. Thanks for that. Next, we have a question from Yushi here, and they ask, are you planning to join any professional team or make a professional team? So this is a good question, but I feel like a lot of people are also a bit misunderstanding at my player skill level because I am not a good player. I am very bad at the game. Like I still fumble on like the very basics all the time. I mean, I've only been playing this game for like 7 to 8 months. And I feel like I have learned a lot, but there's still a lot more that I have to learn, and I am nowhere near ready to like face off against professionals. So I don't think that would be anytime soon. I really do like watching professionals play. I love watching Koa and all that stuff. So I'll keep doing that, but at the moment, no, I don't think I would join a professional team because I would be the weakest link, and all it would do is hold them back. Next up, we have some questions from Emo Wolf here. The first question they have is, if you could meet any character from the game in real life, who would it be? So I feel like a lot of people would think I would say Melly, but Melly has probably murdered her husband, so I don't think I would want to meet a murderer. It would be cool. But I think I would have to say Journalist, because I think that's the only character I would feel safe around. Honestly, I feel like everybody else would just be trying to find a way to like kill me behind my back. Journalist is like the one person who is like not like an insane like murderer slash like criminal. So yeah, I'd probably say Journalist. Number 2, they asked, what is your advice for new players to the game? That's a really great question, because I feel like my content is pretty good more for like low level players and like newer players as opposed to like top level players. So I would just say the 2 biggest things, I guess 3 biggest things is 1, don't be discouraged by losses. 2, just play for fun. Don't worry about winning. Just play for fun, because the game is itself like a very fun game. Just play for fun. And for 3, I would say try to find people to play with, or just try to find friends, because honestly, I don't know if I would have played ID5 long enough if I wasn't like streaming the game to other people. Because I streamed my gaming channel and people were like, I was getting to interact with people, talk about the game. Some like old players got to like tell me about different things and give me like little tips while I was playing. But I feel like it could be really hard to get into if you're just playing it as a single player and you're not really connecting with anybody in the game. So I would like maybe try to like play it, start with a friend, maybe try to make some friends in the game, maybe start watching some content creators as well. I don't know, I feel like it's a tough game to kind of get into if you're only playing it by yourself, because it's much better with friends. Their third question is there any characters in ID5 that you would tell new players to avoid playing? Yeah, that's a good question. I would say probably just avoid characters with like high difficulty stars. Especially like hunters. Like if you're gonna start out with like hunter, stick with very easy hunters. Don't play something like clerk. Don't play something like wheel. Play like the easier hunters. Play something like smiley face. Play something like Jack. Play something like disciple. I would even say something like play like Night Watch. Just play easy hunters. Geisha's pretty easy. Play like easy hunters. As for survivors, same thing. Play easy survivors. I think coordinator is actually one of the best characters to for beginners, because you have the gun and it doesn't really force people into bad habits like Doctor does. Doctor forces people into bad habits by like just kind of standing around and healing. You don't really want to generate those types of habits. So I think Coordinator is a really good character to start learning the game with, because she has solid rock hiding, doesn't really have any debuffs unless somebody's on chair. Plus she has the gun, which is kind of like a free escape option if you're ever scared. You're like, oh, shoot the gun, and I'll try to run away. And a lot of hunters will like switch targets if you're too far away, because they just don't want to bother at low level. So yeah, I'd say Coordinator is like a good character to pick. Just don't pick like the survivors that have high difficulty ratings. For their fourth question, they say, in your opinion, what would be the best starting survivor and hunter you would recommend for new players to learn first / easier to start with? Yeah, so I guess I was just talking about coordinators. Yeah, I would say coordinator is really, really good, just because she can kind of fit all the roles somewhat well. Gardener is a really good choice as well. She has the really nice bubble at the start, so you can avoid an early hit. You've got nice things like increased vaulting, longer chair time that can really help you as well. Lawyer is a great character to start with as well. He's very, very solid. You can use the map to sort of avoid and try and hide from the hunter. I would say any of those 3 characters are really, really good for new players. And then as for hunters, like I mentioned earlier, play something like Smiley Face, play something like Ripper, Night Watch. Those characters are pretty easy. It's really not too difficult to understand. I'd even say Nightmare because he kind of has the auto targeting. So. Yeah, it's pretty easy. A Disciple is another really good one. She seems really easy. Just throw out cats and just try to hit people with it. It doesn't really seem too tough. Maybe Disciple's a little trickier with the jumps, but I don't know. Like Disciple seems really easy to me, but I haven't really played her too much. I don't know. Just pick like those type of easy hunters. I would not say Hellumber because Hellumber is actually kind of tricky to like kind of start off with. Even though his difficulty like ridding is I guess like 1, he's actually a little harder than other hunters because you have to like time the camping right and you have to look up strategies for him. So yeah, his initial chase is not great, and most beginner players don't even know what insolence is or like a persona web is, so it's probably not going to have insolence. So yeah, I just stick with the easy hunters that have like 1 difficulty rating on them. Next up, we have a question from Ghetto Defender for Life. They asked, if you could go back in time, would you stop yourself from playing Identity 5, or would you choose to continue knowing what the future holds for you? / do you ever regret playing Identity 5? I don't necessarily do. The biggest thing that I'm scared of is I don't want to just like be a creator that only does Identity 5. Like I'm a creator that works on, other channels and whatnot. So I don't want to just be Identity 5 creator, which I have been focusing most of my time with this channel since it has like the most potential, I guess I should say, which is fine. But I still really enjoy the game. I enjoy the community mostly. The community is mostly very, very nice. There is a very loud vocal minority that has been more vocal recently in my eyes, but as long as we call out those people and try to create a more positive community, I think it'll be better in the long run. But I would say no. I don't think I would stop myself from playing Identity 5, but I don't want to trap myself in it, right? I guess is what I could say. Next up, we have a question from Nuileu. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I apologize. They asked, do you think that Identity 5 is in a good state? If not, what would you change? So I'm not really sure what they mean by this, but if they're talking specifically about the meta of Identity 5, I honestly think we're in a good place. I won't even lie. I do think the meta is pretty interesting. But I think I'd like to see characters that focus more on not the same formula, I guess you could say. I think this mostly comes down to hunter designs. I want more creative hunter designs that aren't just, put survivor on chair, tunnel survivor, put them back on chair. I want more like aggressive base hunters, and more hunters that kind of switch up, I guess, the feeling of the games, right? More characters like Mad Eyes or something. I would even go so hard as to say more characters like Ivy. The more I play against Ivy, the less I actually enjoy fighting her. I really just dislike how I can never feel safe against her. But as with more counterplay and experience, that could be more fun because it's like, ooh, it constantly keeps you on your toes. But that character is like pretty frustrating to fight, especially when she's at full presence, because it kind of feels like if she's at full pres, it's just a free down, and I don't really like that. But that's why I like Mad Eyes, because he kind of can hit you anywhere on the map, but it still feels like you can do something about it, right? It always feels like you can do something about it until he traps you, but like, I don't know, at that point, you just didn't plan ahead, or like you didn't, play the long game and just get rid of his energy or something. I don't know. That's why I find Mad Eyes to be so interesting, because he doesn't really follow the same like game plan as every single other hunter. So I think I'd like something more like that, honestly. It's just more like unique and interesting hunters that maybe, while could be a little gimmicky, do change up the formula of each game. Next, we have a question from Sapphire Yuna. They ask, what type of hunter would you like to see next? Specifically more like their gameplay, like type of skills, if it should be a chase hunter or camping or a mix of both, etc. And how should they look? Another child hunter like Robbie, another humanoid / pretty guy or lady, or non-human and more monster-looking like Feaster? Yeah, this is a great question, especially since the hunter Melly should be revealed hopefully at Koa. I'm crossing my fingers that I don't know if it's 100% true, but I'm really hoping that they'll reveal hunter Melly coming in Koa. But yeah, this is a really good question, because hunters are usually a lot more creative than survivor design, since there's like one person, right, versus 4, so you have to have like a lot more creativity in the hunter designs. But I guess for like their gameplay, I want to see something that has more map presence and is good at chasing, I guess I could say. I don't like camping hunters. I think camping hunters are boring. Like something like Disciple, something like Bonbon. Hunters with strong camp, Naiad. Hunters with strong camping, I'm honestly just not that big a fan of. I don't like dealing with just like strong camping because it just, again, it leads more to that tunneling kind of thing. And I feel like most of the time, most matches are disrupted by camping. Like whenever you get like a solid camp off, it changed the entire game, right? Like when somebody fails a rescue, that's the entire game change, right? That's the entire game change. That's why Mercenary is so good, because he can, you know, eat terror shocks and whatnot. But yeah, I want Hunters like a super weak camp, so something like you just have to basic hit or something. I don't know. I just want like something that's cool at pursuing and has cool map pressure, or something like just more unique, like a Mad Eyes, I guess I should say. I just don't like camping Hunters. Camping, I just don't find camping to be that entertaining. As for how they look, I don't really want more like humanoid hunters. We have plenty of those, right? And I'm really hoping that we don't get more hunters like Joseph and Mary, because they are literally just people. They are literally just people, right? They're literally just people. You know, Ivy is kind of just like a humanoid, but at least she has like the 3 eyes and the spooky yith. But I want more stuff like Soul Weaver, right? I want more stuff like Soul Weaver. I want more stuff like Feaster, stuff like Dream Witch, where they're just creatures, right? I want more creatures. That's what I'm really hoping for Hunter Melly. I don't want her to just be like some, oh, it's a spooky lady with bees. Like, no, I don't want that. I want her to be like some really spooky, scary parasite with like moth wings corpse, using her body as a corpse, like a nest that they feed off of. Like, that would be hype, dude. That would be so cool. I want more scary designs, like more monsters, stuff like Soul Weaver, again, stuff like Feaster. Nightmare is pretty good too. Nightmare is kind of like a cross between like monster and human. I guess that's kind of fine. Bane's probably fine as well, but like stuff like Photographer, stuff like Bloody Queen, Geisha as well. They're just kind of boring. They're just people. They're literally just people. I don't really like just the straight up people design. Next up, we have some questions from Bobby Grace. Their first question is, if I got to try any food, what would it be? I don't know if there's any specific thing, but I think I would really like to just try fancy food that are like cooked by professional chefs or whatever. Like sometimes I watch Gordon Ramsay and I look at his food and it's like, ooh, that looks good. And then I go warm up my freaking microwave ramen. But yeah, I would just like to have like, you know, food cooked by like a professional chef that isn't like $10,000 or something, or like some desserts that are made by professional you know, bakers and whatnot, because dude, some of those desserts look so good. I really want to try them when I see them like in commercials or ads or whatever. 2, somebody asked, have I ever met anybody famous? And I don't think that I really have met anybody super famous. I've met a couple writers before, but I think that was about it. Number 3, they asked, do you have an editor to the editor videos, or do you do it? Yeah, so I do not have any editors. I do everything on YouTube myself. I've never had assistance when it comes to the production side on a single video ever, I think. I don't think I ever have. So I think I've made over 4,000 videos on my time on YouTube. Probably, maybe 4,000? I don't know, maybe not that high. Maybe at least 3,000. 3,000 for sure. Including live streams, yeah, I'd say like 3,000. But no, I've not had a single editor. I can't afford one, so I can afford one. And I don't even know how I would, you know, handle having an editor. I feel like it's more work than it's worth, I guess. I don't know. Plus, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in my videos that I just would be embarrassed for my editor to hear. Like, I have to do retakes like all the time. So they'll hear me go, hello, I didn't... hello, hello, like that. I'd have to push through all that. I'm like, oh my gosh, that'd be so cringe, bro. I don't want my editors to hear that kind of stuff. I want to hear the cringe. I don't want them to hear the cringe. For their final question, though, they asked, would you do you spend $400 for an SS tier for entomologists? So that's a good question. I don't have that kind of money though. I can't afford that. I could maybe like do 150. That's about as much as I could do right now. But until like I have more money, because right now I got hit by tax season, so I don't have the most money of all time. Plus with a move coming in my future, I'm not gonna have as much money as I thought I would. It's complex, so no, I don't think I'd be able to do that. As much as I would love an SS Melly, I kind of hope that it doesn't happen because I would not be able to afford it. Next up, we have some questions from Melly Cat here. The first one, they asked, what are your thoughts on the IDV community at this point? Yeah, I think I touched on that earlier. The IDV community is mostly like very, very positive, at least like from my circle. I kind of stick to myself. I don't really like go out to many other sides of the community. I know there are some like toxic places, especially on something like TikTok or on Twitter. There's like a lot of toxicity, a lot in post-match. There's a lot of toxicity, especially more at the higher level. But where I'm currently at, it's mostly good. There's been like I said earlier, there's been a loud minority that I've become aware of more recently, and that can be a little frustrating to deal with as a creator who, kind of gets hurt by comments like that. But it's not that big of a deal because mostly everybody else is really, really nice. For their second question, they asked, do you know when you'll go back to doing duos on Thursday streams? Yeah, so that will come back after KOA. So KOA ends on May 4th. So after KOA, we'll have our regular Thursday streams come back. KOA kind of threw like a huge wrench into the schedule of this channel, but once it ends, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming with streams. And for their third question, they asked, what characters do you want to win for Deduction Star / Nymph rewards? Or is it rewards? I thought it was awards. Well, whatever. Obviously, besides Melly. So they know like Melly is my #1 pick for Nymph awards. So I guess honestly that's all I really have for Nymph. I don't really know who else would get it. I guess maybe Nightwatch. I could vote Nightwatch for a Nymph award. Antiquarian would be cool as well. I really like Antique Dealer. But for Deduction Star, people who haven't got one yet, I think Composer would be awesome. I'm probably gonna vote Composer because he's my second favorite character. I could see myself maybe giving some votes to Journalist, maybe Orpheus, probably just a lot of my favorite characters, right? Probably those three. And I might toss a vote to Violinist as well because I know Zeus wants Violinist to be voted for, and I do want to see some more Vio content. So I could see myself voting a few times for Violinist, but this is my first time voting. I don't really know how the voting works, so it really depends on once I actually see it in game. Next up, we have some questions from user-YC. I don't know. Okay, Dazai. I'm just gonna say Dazai. They have a Dazai profile picture. They ask, are you still studying in school, college, for example? At the moment, I am not. I might go back in the future, but I am not. I was doing college for about 2 years, but then dropped out because I just didn't really have as much interest in my field anymore. I might go back in the future, like I said. I used to study computer science, and I do still find computer science to be really fun, but I really don't like the mathematics side of it. I'm pretty bad at math. That's calculus and beyond. So I'm just not really the biggest fan of that kind of stuff. I like the logic that goes into it, but there are just some other parts that I'm just not the biggest fan of. But yeah, comp sci was my major. Number 2, they asked, what are some changes you'd like to see both in your community and the community for NAEU as a whole? So I guess just for my community, I don't really need any major changes, honestly. Like, I'm really happy with the community I have, specifically here on YouTube. We're pretty positive, and I really do appreciate that, that most people are. And as for NAEU as a whole, that's kind of tough for me to speak on, but I think Eli O on his stream recently had a really good discussion about how people don't really have, or NetEase doesn't really have too much respect for NAEU, and that is just because of how the community handles things, like those vocal minority things. How, in live streams and live streams, you'll see people say like, oh, these commentators suck, or it's like, oh, these players are throwing, they're trash, they need to kick them off the team. The reason why people don't have as much respect for NAEU is for things like that. We need more, I guess, what's the word? Empathy? Yeah, empathy. I think empathy is something this community needs a lot more of, because people just like to point out people's mistakes all the time, and they don't really give them any credit for, either trying to learn. If you're like a mid-level player, if you're a top-level player, all they do is be like, oh, they should have done this instead. Like, yeah, you can point out their mistakes, but you can be respectful about it at the same time, right? You don't have to say, oh, they're throwing, oh, this person needs to get kicked off the team, right? If you're saying that kind of stuff, maybe you should like rethink about the things that you're saying, because you really should not be saying that. And it's like the same thing, you see like a lot of posts on twitter.com where they'll give like updates on, KOA or whatever, or they'll be like, oh, this top player did this person did this, and you'll see in the comments people are saying like, oh, I don't care, give me the new prisoner skin, I don't care, vote prisoner for freaking Deduction / Nymph award. I'm not saying it's prisoner fans, I'm just using prisoner as an example, but it's those kind of comments that are just like, well, why do we respect NAEU when they don't respect us, right? Like, you have to, respect is a two-way street, right? Like, they're not just going to give respect to their players if they don't get respect in return, right? So I just think like players in this community need more respect and empathy, and I think a lot of it is creator figureheads, like I should say myself, because my channel is growing at this point, but even like, top level players, content creators, they should be more respectful and empathetic toward other players and the community as a whole. And I think if we can keep calling out people that make those comments and tell them to change their ways, you know, maybe there's like a slow shift that we'll see a more positive community that NetEase will actually respect in the future. But yeah, just again, shout outs to all the NAEU commentators for Koa, people like Nella Mello, Eli O, Chocho, Psyche, Posh Spice. Huge shout outs to them. They're really good at their jobs. I really don't like seeing the disrespect and hate that those guys get, because they're really good at what they do, and they deserve like all the support that they can get, because you know, there are like, you know, window into to NetEase. So they give us, they are the ones communicating with NetEase to tell us these things that we want, for more respect for NAU. So yeah, and when they get disrespected, it doesn't look good on NAU as a whole, and it doesn't feel good when like they're getting all the harassment and hate. So yeah, huge shout outs to them. If you can support them in any way, please do. They're awesome. Treat them with respect. Respect your commentators, respect your content creators, respect your fellow players. Just treat people with respect. That's all I can really say. Sorry for the rant there. Third question they asked is, are you taking care of yourself? And yeah, I am. Don't worry. I know I've had like a lot of Koa streams recently, and my voice has been struggling a bit, but it's already recovered to the point. Like I'm fine now. I can do Mario, woohoo! Like I can do that just fine now. Earlier, every time I would wake up, I'd have to go Mario, woohoo! Like it was so bad. It took me like 3 hours just to warm my voice. But now I can wake up straight, go right into Mario, woohoo! So I'm good. Sorry for that. Well, everybody, that's going to be it for today. Sorry, I know there was a lot more questions. I might consider doing a part 2 to this, maybe like next week or something, because there was a lot of questions and I didn't get to answer them all, so I do apologize for that. Let me know if you want to see like a part 2, since there are still like plenty of questions. I think I'm still getting questions, so that'll be good if we want to do a part 2, maybe like next week or something, because I don't want to just like do 2 back to back. That wouldn't be super awesome. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna be it. Thank you all for leaving questions. I do appreciate it. It's always really fun to take a look at what people are wondering about my content, or even just me as a creator. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.